Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're learning new things, enjoying yourself, having a good time. Hope my microphone's close enough to my mouth that you can hear me well enough. I guess I'll just get right into it. Another one of these life log videos, life recording, life lesson, whatever you wish to really call these, is what this is. And so this episode is going to be about more. If you guys have probably heard the term more is less and less is more, and I'm going to be kind of talking about what I've learned from that, learned from that this past kind of week to 2 weeks kind of period. So I'm just going to start off right by saying that this video is kind of inspired by a few things. First of all, my personal experience these past few weeks, and then just, again, the general terms of more is less and less is more, and yeah, that's pretty much it, as far as I can remember, as of right now. So basically, let's get right into it. This past week, I've been very, very sick. Just had a very bad cold, and it was something else. It was very something else. Came out of nowhere really last weekend and just stayed with me the entire week that I stayed home the entire week, just sick in bed. And that was very interesting. That's a story for another time, how bad the cold was. But the point that I am taking from that is that I was sick in bed, right? Most of the time, all alone in my room. My family was around and I had supper and stuff like that. But in terms of what most of my time was spent doing was either just trying to waste time so that I wouldn't be sick anymore, or I'd be sleeping, and sleeping wouldn't go too well because I was sick, and hey, leaky nose, eyeballs, all that. So I was kind of just bored out of my mind for a few days, and it's that feeling where you can't do anything because you don't have the energy to do it, but you want to do something because you can't sleep and you can't just go through it. So it's kind of that feeling. So that's one half of what I'm getting here. Now, the other half is kind of when I went back to my day-to-day life, just earlier today, actually, and technically yesterday. But point is, so for school and stuff, I went to school and got back to classes, all that. They had clubs, activities, and all that fun stuff, and really got immersed back into that environment. And that part of it is that I kind of, regain that sploosh, right, of of direct interaction with all the things that I do find interesting. I'm the type of guy that finds everything interesting and then can't decide what to choose to do. And again, as mentioned in some of my previous life log videos, but I was essentially there's this music thing I'm kind of participating right now, really cool. Then there's the regular classes, sciences, French, English, languages essentially, and then arts, all that fun stuff. And I love all that fun stuff when I'm doing it, and it's really interesting. Now, the more is less and less is more thing comes in this kind of mush of the two, which is comparing having absolutely no choice, no options, just kind of having to do stuff without ever having a challenge to do it. And then the complete other end of the spectrum where you have so many options, you could choose whatever you want to do, and there's so many interests. And so the less is more and more is less thing is it usually applies in terms of when the amount of choices you have, where the less choices you have and you make a choice, the more satisfied you will be with that choice because there's less of a variety to pick from. But then when there's more choices, no matter what you pick, you'll feel less satisfied with it because you'll always feel like there was a better pick or a better option out there. Now, this applies to this situation for me at least because it's kind of in terms of what I spend my time doing, and I a lot about prioritizing stuff. And so having more don't get me wrong, having no choices or being forced to do one thing, that that will not make you more satisfied. I mean, unless you really like that one thing, that will usually not make you more satisfied. So, like, having a few options is good, but, like, when you start giving yourself way too many options, your satisfaction level or happiness level won't go up any more than that. At least that's what I found with my experience. Share in the comments if you have different experiences out there. But my experience, like, again, is so, like, you have, like, that medium level of interests. And so if you spread yourself too thin on what you're doing, on, like, you're passionate, you have so many fires burning, you're, like, going bam, 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 all these different, like, things at once, right? You're gonna get spread too thin and feel like you're not making progress in any direction. Kind of like the thing that, that question I'm sure you might have heard at one point, where it's like a master of very few things, deep master of many few things, or a master of a few things, or like an average person of many, like, knowledge wise, of many different subjects. And so, like, sometimes having fewer options but then becoming really good at that is better for you. And I'm not saying one, like, depending, say you have, like, many choices out there of, like, whether it's career paths, whether it's just hobbies, whether it's just an open day and you have to choose activities. When you're, like, deciding what you want to do and what you feel like will bring you the best, like, return on happiness, it won't, like, even if you have so many choices, it won't really matter. Not having more choices, or not trying to pick the best one out there and the one that'll bring you the most return. Those won't bring you the best, like, the most happiness for you. The only thing that'll give you slightly more happiness is by just limiting yourself down, like stepping back a second and just saying, okay, these are my top things that I feel like wanting to do today, right? Doing all these other things would be great. Choosing all these other paths would be fantastic. But having those options, like giving myself those options when I already have some that are slightly, like, just slightly above it that I want to try first, they're, like, limiting your potential to be satisfied and, like, start pursuing something. So what I suggest you do, and what I'm gonna, well, try doing in my life too, because gotta try it, is to limit the amount of choices that you're giving yourself. So, for example, say my options were, like, going to bring my dog for a walk, right? Going to see a movie with friends, right? Working on a book you want to write, watching a movie night with your family, and say reading a book that you really wanted to read. Okay, so now these are your options, and so they could all sound perfectly fantastic to you, and you can kind of use whatever method you want to, like, determine which ones are, like, what kind of list you want or what kind of order. But it's essential that you do that, because you could choose, like, what the needs and importance versus, like, or like you need to do versus your importance, how much you like it. But it's important that you do find somehow to, like, just classify these things, even if it's ever so slightly and just in the moment. Because in doing that, you can find, just, like, you may have a list of, like, 6 things, cut that down to a list of, like, 2 to 3 things, right? And it's not like you have to do all these things, or you have to focus on doing all these things. You only have to focus on doing one thing. That's the next thing you're going to do, or the thing you're doing right now, if you're already doing it. So you only, like, it's kind of thing where it's like, I feel like I have to do so many things, or I want to do so many things. Well, you don't have to think, or need to think, or want to think about all those things. Just think about one. The one thing that you're going to do right now. And just think about that thing. Get started on that thing. Don't worry about the rest. Let that take the back burner for a little bit. Ease off of that ease off the gas, maybe just hit the brake a little bit on those and start on one thing. And then with doing that one thing, working on that one thing, right? Whether you get it done, or at least you just spend your time doing it, and you still have to do it later. But the important thing is that you did it, first of all, and second of all, you didn't spend your time thinking about the other things while you were doing that thing. So you appreciated your time more and you gave yourself more satisfaction with your choice because you weren't worried about all the other choices that were there, that were sitting there in the background. So again, gonna quick recap of this short 10-minute video. Look at that. Still a little bit sick, but feeling better. Quick recap. More is less and less is more. So the more choices you give yourself, the less satisfied you'll be with your choice. And so to help go against that is to try and prioritize which things that you want to do. Like find some method, whatever works for you. There's so many out there. For me personally, I struggle with this like quite a bit. But what I usually try to do is well, first of all, what needs to get done in terms of my values. So like if my dog hasn't gotten a walk in like 4 days and he really wants to go outside, then I'm probably gonna bring him outside because he deserves it. And then so I'd probably choose that. And then other things as in like importance, like are my friends gonna be available the rest of the week, or is my family gonna be available the rest of the week, and like kind of like do stuff like that. And to organize out your list of priorities, like even if it's ever so slightly and just in the moment, then from that on you go start with the most important thing on that list, or most whatever you put as your number one or number two top things. Start with one of those. Only focus on that while you're doing it. Just live in the moment. Be there with that activity. Then the other stuff will be there after. So then when you work on that, right, get that one done. Or if you just keep working on it, get progress on it, and you'll appreciate your time more and be more satisfied with your decision. Because you won't be like you won't keep thinking about the other things, the other choices that you had, and the other possibilities you could have done. And yeah, so it's just been a quick video to help you guys, help myself, because these videos are for myself as much as you guys, to like help figure out how to prioritize stuff or how to be more satisfied with your choices in life. Because most of the time, there's not going to be a better or worse choice. There's just going to be a different choice, and that's what most of life is. And so this will hopefully help you appreciate and be satisfied with your life just that much more. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this short 12 minutes or 13-minute-ish video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to drink lots of water, get lots of sleep if you're sick. I do know that that's very important. Try to find a list that works for you, and or some sort of method, whichever you may choose. And even if you end up like choosing something or not finding a priority list, just live in the moment. Live with, like, you made a choice. Just make a choice. Don't think about it too much. Live with that choice, and that's all you can really do, because you gotta live with what you choose, right? And so yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Drink lots of water, get lots of sleep, spend time with your family, friends, amigos, walk your dog, spend time with, siblings, or if you have any, or if you're older, your children, and your younger children, or if you're really young, your grandparents, all that fun stuff. And just have a great day. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye.